Alright, that should be everything set up. And looks like everything's running properly. So we drop into the game. Looks like everything's running properly video-wise as well. Let's hop in. I'll go ahead and leave those on. One more thing. Alright. Okay. There we go. Oh, let me make sure my bar is even. Ruin, outburst. Oh no. Gym shines, sure. Physic, I don't think I'll ever use, but I may as well have it. Ether charge. Kind of a buff. Let's move this. Let's put my summons on class skills. Put and then shield. That should work. Alright, not here. I need to go to Miketo. I don't know that I'm actually starting at level 30. I think I already did the level 30 quest. That's probably 35, something like that. And now we're actually gonna get the chance to spend some time with Yamitra. Not that you really learn a whole lot about her with the Summoner quest line. But, you get to spend some time with her. Summon Topaz to summon Titan, yeah. Its essence infuses your art. Well, yeah, I fought him a long time ago. There are obstacles preventing us from attempting the next ritual. Austerities of Earth. Every confidence that you will succeed in binding Titan Aggie to your will. Most suitable location is southwest of Alder Springs and North Shroud. Buried layer of ancient rock exposed by the violent upheavals of the Calamity. It's on the surrounding area an overwhelming earthen aspect. Perfect. I'll await you at our destination. Let's do... I got Sid. Ooh, Odin, possibly. I mean, he is a summon. That might feel right. Black Cat's always good for spellcasters. Yeah, let's go with Odin. That'll work. My own little mammoth summon. Oh. What's a ninja doing out here? Essentially no different from the austerities of flame. Instead of fire, however, you'll be concentrating on shifting your etheric balance towards the spectrum of Earth. Once you've achieved the required state of earthen affinity, the primal's captured essence will tumble forth and coalesce into the stony form of Titan Agi. You must demonstrate unflinching authority if you would convince the newborn avatar to heed your commands. Alright, let's do it. Oops, probably should have summoned beforehand. Oops. Stay out of that sludge. Man, it looks like I actually need to heal a little bit. There we go. Allegan relics. Whoops. What do I find but a pair of incompetent dabblers? Oh, what just of fate did you chance across such undeserved power? Might you be, sir, to so boldly question our accomplishments? You have indeed unlocked the secrets of summoning, then you must be in possession of the very treasure I seek. Terribly convenient. I need only slay you both and take what I need from your bloody corpses. Yeah, not that easy. Yep. Well, obviously, must have faced a Freed at some point. I'll prattle. The continuation of my divine work far outweighs the worth of your pitiful lives. What an idiot. Oh yeah, I should be using my shield, honestly. That That's surprising. I really didn't do that much damage to either of them. Is he really that beaten down when I didn't even do much to him? Unwillingness to accept oblivion but delays the inevitable. Avatar of Infernal Flame, incinerate these fools in all-consuming hellfire. Yeah, no thanks. Thank you, Titan. See, unlike you, I actually have multiple summons. Just chucks a stone spell at him. Tired of this childish game. Thank your gods for granting you another day of miserable existence. Decidedly unpleasant fellow. Yay, Titan Eggy. It was actually decently useful back in the day when you would use him as like a tank stance almost, but these days Summoner is so different that he's still useful, but in a very different way. Turn to Akalu Falls, no desire to linger here and chance another encounter with whomever that deranged mage was. Wait. Is that seriously another... I mean, maybe not a sister, but definitely another member of the same tribe. I never even noticed her here. Huh. Three scholars vigil for these waters, and he came here to rally all of the Eorzea in the fight against and became the managed legends. Nothing really important. Undoubtedly just a member of the same tribe. Well, obviously a member of the same tribe, but probably not really a sister or anything. Wow, I have 25 of these things just waiting? I've already got that. I don't have these. There's a lot of these minions I don't already have. Well, a few of these minions I don't already have. Grab that one. Some of these mounts, but I don't really care that much about the mount. Guess I could get the behemoth if I really care to. I don't especially care about the behemoth, so I'll get some of the other minions, I suppose, for now. That I don't already have. That should be all the minions. So I guess next I will do... This one summons the Ahriman. Suppose I'll grab the behemoth first. And then... I've already got everything else, so I guess the rest is mounts. I already have the Barding of Light and the Wild Rose. Guess I'll grab the Ahriman. I don't think I'm gonna use it really, but why not? didn't realize I had that many of the tokens saved up from my achievements, but it doesn't really surprise me. I haven't really checked with this guy in a long time. Yeah, so now I got a little Armin minion and a goblin. Kuma Inu. I think I'll add that one to my favorites. Greg. There's Sid. And Furion. I don't think I'm going to change it right now, but interesting to have them. And then the Behemoth. This is not the one that's a multi-person mount, I think. I think you have to buy that one from Gold Saucer or something. There's one that's actually a multi-person mount. And the Aramin. That might be good come, like, Halloween of this year. That's many, many months away. Oh well. I only need a few more tokens to buy the last mount, and I think that's pretty much everything I care to buy from him. I expect to meet another practitioner of the summoning art. Also did not expect to be suddenly fighting for my life. Precious treasure do we carry that this callous stranger was so willing to kill us to possess it. Such mysteries aside, I am most glad you were able to secure Titan Eggy before the summoner decided to unleash his fiery avatar. Without its protection, I doubt we would have survived that conflagration. The Eggy of Earth, as was so aptly demonstrated, is not a force to be trifled with. You should certainly take the time to explore its capabilities, as well as its limitations. Be careful, however, not to neglect other magics at your disposal. Meanwhile, I should confer with my colleagues in the Sons of St. Koinik and see what I might learn of that hostile summoner. Cool. Now my Topaz Carbuncle's gone, and I have a little Titan Eggy. Which luckily shouldn't actually change anything. Yeah, automatically updates, don't have to worry about it. Oh, Pain Flare, nice. Be good. True wishes to share with you the results of our investigation. Fared you with your training. For my part, I had some success in uncovering the identity of our mystery attacker. I knew that our assailant was capable of summoning a Freet Eggy, so I perused the record of past expeditions for those who claimed to have triumphed against the Lord of the Inferno. Of these victorious primal hunters, there were 8 names listed as present whereabouts unknown. After eliminating unlikely candidates based on race and gender, I was left with but a single name, Tristan. Assuming the records are accurate, this hero was once registered as a soldier in the Immortal Flames. As to how the man came by his skills as a summoner, or why he sought to kill us, however, I remain woefully ignorant. Nevertheless, I have witnessed him use the art of summoning for casual brutality, and that I cannot countenance. This power should never be employed for the sake of tyranny or personal gain. It was meant to oppose such evils. It's our responsibility to bring this Tristan to justice. If we stand idle, his reprehensible actions could very well stain the good name of future summoners who have yet to answer their calling. The art itself could be outlawed, the very mention of it taboo. Now, through my inquiries, I was able to determine that a war comrade from Tristan's days in the military resides in Little Alamigo. I ask that you pay a visit to this former soldier and learn what he knows of our callous villain. I will, but first, how many do I have? 672. No, probably not tonight. 672 isn't really enough to buy the 2 pieces that I want. I think I need a lot more for that. So I'll do it at some point later. Tonight I will just wear my Palace of the Dead stuff. Oh well, seems like Tristan wasn't telling tall tales after all. Said I could expect some primal addled sod to show up and start asking questions. Why don't you stay here and play with some friends of mine? I have a message to deliver. It's all yours, ladies. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm so overpowered for this, they're not even gonna stand a chance. I don't even need to go through like the whole summoning and everything. They didn't stand a chance. You know what, maybe I will drop in. So I'm teleporting all over the place anyway. And see what I could get, if anything interesting. Oh wow. That's a really long distance. I used an Aetheryte ticket for that teleportation. That's a very long distance. I think I have my my Ether ticket usage set to like 500 gil. Tomestones. War magic. So the crown is a good one. I do like that crown. It sort of bridges the gap between the summoner giant penis on your head without being like horrible looking. I do kind of like the way it looks. Not really a fan of the hailstorm stuff. But I might want that crown. Yeah, I'll probably get the top. We'll need these Shire accessories eventually. That's okay though. For now I'm good. So I don't... But that's level 50, so I probably will keep that. I don't think all my casters are up to 60 just yet. There we go. Wait, what's this that Rowena has? Unexpected I think that's the next tier of the relics for Heaven's Word, I believe. I'm not certain of that, though. I haven't even gotten close to finishing most of the relics for Realm Reborn. Actually, technically, I haven't finished any of the relics for Realm Reborn. I finished, like, the first... No. Second tier of them, but there's still, like, the Atma and the Zodiac and all that stuff. Anyway. I'll deal with all the side questing here to unlock all the features eventually. Right now, let's focus on what I'm doing. So this is exactly the run back I've talked about in previous streams, which is when you're playing as a summoner, you get very used to this run back and sprint being just barely not enough to get you all the way there. That gets you close enough, but it's like just far enough away from the crystal to be kind of annoying to have to run it every time. 10 years of dig site findings that Tristan warned his old allies long before you set foot in that settlement. They thought you one of the tempered, a mortal enthralled to a primal's will. In addition to being ruthless, it appears that our opponent is highly intelligent and not quite as deranged as I first assumed. Such a level of planning hints at the existence of some greater scheme. That is still all we know. For the moment, we must be content with the knowledge that he perceives us as a threat and is aware of our efforts to track him. Speaking of which, you did exceedingly well to survive the trap into which I blithely sent you. I just apologize for my carelessness. Not underestimate this man again. On a happier note, however, my efforts to decipher the elegant text proceed apace. Here, you must read this. Your skills already tried and tested against the Aggie, you should have little difficulty in mastering a secondary summoning technique such as this. Let's put this day's disaster behind us and focus on the wonders that lie ahead. Now we'll put those there. That can stay. Actually, that can go maybe here for now. Doesn't matter. You change into the summoner class, you cast it once, and then you basically never cast it again, so. Is that Kudzu? Okay. Yeah, so that's some Stormblood stuff or something. Looks pretty cool on her. I wonder how it would look on a male. Elegant attack. Oh yeah, so now we're getting our first set of the summoner gear. The armor set, the glamour set. Though it is good to see you, I am afraid I have yet to ascertain Tristan's ultimate objective. I only know that he is cunning and brutal and will stop at nothing to achieve his purpose. As matters stand, we but chase after this man's shadow. Such a straightforward pursuit will, I believe, leave us ever one step behind. Our sole advantage is the treasure we possess that Tristan appears to covet. Eventually, his desire will bring him to us. Where and when Tristan will strike, I cannot say. It's unlikely to be on a field of our choosing. Thus, I suggest we prepare for this inevitable conflict as best we may. As fortune would have it, the runes of Mordona may have provided us with a new source of strength. Word among the Suns is that a set of Evoker's attire has been unearthed. Made during the reign of the Allegan Empire, these enchanted garments were sewn for the exclusive use of summoners. I can only imagine the degree to which they will enhance your already impressive powers. The man supervising the excavations efforts at St. Koinek's find, Rambrose, is a dear friend of mine. Oh, he's actually a pretty good friend of mine, too. In light of our circumstances, I'm certain that he will consent to a request that you be allowed to don the attire. Should we pay him a visit? Can I have any? Not really. That one's still in Idleshire, and this is just... I just tend to work on my relics off screen whenever I can. Hello? This is probably... I think this is the upgraded version of Thornton? Yeah. Yeah, where the bard tells some tale about your fight against Thornton in the Knights of the Round, and then it becomes an even more difficult fight, right? Because he embellishes, basically. I'll get to that. Again, later. Suppose in some side questing. Hey, Rambros. Wow, I never did unlock the leaves here. Oh well. No matter. How you guys been ever since the whole Crystal Tower thing? Oh, Yamitra, I suspected you would make an appearance before long. Presume this fine gentleman is the new summoner I've heard so much about. Yes, hopefully the first of many. But pray tell me, Rambros, has the discovery of Allegan made Evoker's attire been confirmed? Does he really not acknowledge it? I mean, I know this is an earlier level quest than the Crystal Tower stuff was, but I'm surprised he doesn't acknowledge it at all. It has truly an historic find. I would ask a boon of you, my friend. You recall the predicament of which I spoke. Our chances of survival would be greatly improved if you would consider allowing Ashran to wear the Allegan garments. Well, he is a summoner, after all. Must confess to no small degree of scholarly curiosity as to the effect the attire will have on one with the appropriate training. Its finds are, however, the result of much sweat and even a few tears on the part of our excavation team. It's a frustrating task at times. I fear they will be loath to part with the garments without some measure of recompense for their efforts. Allow me, though, to offer a solution. Metallic monstrosities of Allegan construction known as Mere Knights have risen from the dig sites scattered across Mordona. Needless to say, they pose a dangerous threat to our excavators. I suggest you speak with my 3 field researchers and dispose of any such nasty hindrances to their work. Dare say they will then gladly surrender the pieces of the attire they hold. Once I have confirmed our dig site suitably empty of armored horrors, I will see you rewarded with the garment that I myself recovered from the ruins. Your knight lurks just over yonder. I can scarce think straight with that thing wandering about. Oh gods, it approaches. You good? And my thanks. Now I might finally be able to concentrate on my task. I'm mistaken, you are in search of the Evoker's attire. I have one of its wondrous pieces right here. You're most welcome to it. Yep. That's my armor set. Praise the god, Rambrose said an adventurer would be along. Please, you must destroy that horrid creature. For eliminating the source of my recent nightmares. Not ordinarily stutters, so you see, but abject terror has that effect on folk. I hear from Ymitra that you have need of this elegant garment. Should be glad to see it put to practical use rather than shut away in some dusty vault. Your knights. Yes, they have become quite bothersome. Would be most appreciative were you to eliminate the creaking pest that has been plaguing me of late. That was easy. They're very underleveled for me. Fascinating. Never thought I'd be fortunate enough to observe a conflict against an elegant construction at such close quarters. It's been a deeply enriching experience. If the price is to be my piece of the evoker's attire, then so be it. Is that all? Just the 4? Champion my researchers returns. The ruins now free of mere knights, the excavations can proceed at a far more satisfying pace. Trembling in fear for one's life makes it astonishingly difficult to handle ancient artifacts that have a tendency to crumble into dust. Performed a valuable duty for us. As promised, you shall have the summoner's garment uncovered by my own hand as your reward. Oh yes, Ymitra mentioned she would await you at Apkalu Falls. It seems there was no doubt in her mind that you would succeed here. One more piece. That's the, Oh. Wrong piece. That's the chest piece that I'm still missing. That's okay. I'm not really a huge fan of this armor style. So this is how the summoners of old were clad. Well, more or less. It's unfortunate that the ruins have yet to surrender the final piece to the suns. His garments, aside from the coloring, they are identical to the garb Tristan wore. You'll find no edge against you through his equipment. When next you face that murderous cad, victory will be decided purely by who is the more talented summoner. To that end, it's time you drew on your experience of defeating the primal Garuda. Her aura of fickle violence is palpable upon you. It's daunting to imagine an Eggy born of the Lady of the Vortex. Such unpredictable ferocity should serve you well. I'll search for a suitably airy location in which to perform the austerities of wind. You, my dear summoner, must needs prepare yourself body and mind for the trials ahead. That'll unlock the last of my base summon rotation before you add Bahamut or Phoenix into it. I sense Garuda's restless essence railing within the confines of your etheric channels. It's time we granted it release with the austerities of wind. Thankfully, I already have in mind a location that well suits our elemental purposes. You're familiar with the floating city of Nim in outer Lenosha? As you might imagine, the aspect of wind is entirely dominant in that area. Make your way there as soon as you feel prepared. Quite excited to see this new Eggie. That is a heck of a mount and an outfit, buddy. I like it. The snowman glamour and a snowman mount. That is a serious statement that I think can only really be made around this time of year, but I'm pretty sure he's running out of time for that glamour and mount. And we begin. Assume that as this is your third such experience, you have by now grown familiar with the steps of the ritual. As before, I would have you concentrate on shifting your etheric balance. Imagine the energy within you howling through your veins, an incessant gale of screeching wrath. That's one way to describe her. Essence will be only too eager to harness those raging currents and shape them into a worldly avatar. Once Garuda Eggie has appeared, it falls on you to tame its fury. Come on out, Garuda. Time to fight. You can slap me around all you want, it's not going to change anything. Oh, there's the plumes. Should probably be taking those out, though. Mind game? Would you like to select the one I'm looking at rather than something that's in a completely different direction, please? Oh. Oh yeah, Charada and Sparna. There we go. It was a little more chaotic with all the ads she put in and then constantly slapping me around the arena, but not too bad. Masterfully done. Garuda Eggi's power is now yours to wield. Your aptitude for the art of summoning has exceeded my highest expectations. Honestly, could not have found a more valuable partner for my research. Let's return to Epkalu Falls. You must be exhausted after this ordeal. Wait. No. No return. Okay. I'll just teleport there. The addition of Garuda Egg, you now command 3 powerful avatars. You no doubt realize, however, each of these entities has a particular role in which it excels. That role is unleashing magic to strike down distant foes. I must admit to feeling equal parts joy and apprehension. How faithfully the summoned being displays the original primal's volatile disposition. Honestly, I don't know if a lot of this dialogue will be completely inaccurate now that the 6.0 summoner changes are out. Experiment with your Eggy allies, and the most effective use of their individual abilities will soon become clear. Yeah, you just cycle between them and use the abilities that they change. With such mastery of the art at your disposal, I shall almost pity Tristan when next he chooses to confront you. I mean, it used to be a Freak for solo, Titan for tanking, and Garuda for AoE, but these days not so much. When that time comes, however, I will endeavor to pierce the mystery of his motivations. Your discoveries bring you new confidence. Cool. That's all of the base summons done. And now we finish the ARR quests. Oh yeah, and Kindle. Enhances the signature attack of the summons, upgrading Burning Strike into Inferno, Rockbuster into Earth and Fury. So this doesn't... I don't believe this actually gives you a new ability at all. I don't think you use Enkindle at all, right? It's a trait. So when you summon them, the attack they execute when you summon them just changes. Okay. I think Enkindle used to actually be an ability you casted. It's been a terrible incident. My poor colleagues at St. Koenig's find murdered. The reports are confused, but they all mention the same black-robed attacker. You know as well as I do that Tristan is behind this massacre. He's indeed grown bold or desperate to commit such a brazen act. We should set off to Mordona at once and speak with any survivors. Maybe that we could glean some idea of what that cold-hearted monster was after, or where he might strike next. Necessity pains me. We must ask this man what he remembers of the attack. Yeah. Consequence of some repentant savagery. Yes. Yes, I'm absolutely certain. It's the same dark summoner who Yumitra described to us. We're celebrating a recent find, the soul crystal of an Allegan summoner. And a man in black robes suddenly appeared and demanded we surrender the gem. Naturally, we objected to this arrogant imposition. He simply sneered at our refusal. The next moment, the world exploded into flame. Through a haze of agony, I saw him snatch up the soul crystal from a smoldering body and stride off towards the singeing gardens. Singing shards, probably. Not singeing, singing. Bastards slaughtered my friends. There's no warning, no negotiation. The gods grant you the chance to exact vengeance, then I pray you show them the same mercy afforded us. Another soul crystal. As it makes sense that he would shift his attention to a more easily obtainable gem. For all your progress, you would now make for a most formidable opponent. I must apologize for not sharing my theory earlier. I suspected that Tristan might desire the soul crystal you carry. I do not wish to draw any premature conclusions without sufficient evidence. I'm at a loss, however, to explain why he seeks to collect more of these Allegan relics. We should just have to ask the villain himself after we corner him in the singing shards. Let's be on our way. Luckily, I can just cut straight across. Right into the middle of a fate. Wonderful. Oh good, it just auto-synced me just by getting close enough. Yep, of course it Asiad. I brought you the soul crystals, as promised. Yes. These appear to be authentic Allegan artifacts. Very well. I shall honor our bargain. From within these gems I will draw forth the memories of the ancient summoners, and the slumbering essence of an elder primal. All the attendant knowledge and power shall be yours. Well, wonderful. God's the pain. Straight up maniacal laughter. Great. The bumbling summoner and his incompetent lackey make an appearance at last. You think to capture me? Fools. I have orchestrated your every move. You've grown much in the art, it is true. But through the wisdom of the Paragons, I now command the power of an elder primal. Made a deal with the Paragons? You call us fools? The Asians will never relinquish their hold on you. Small price to pay. You could but feel the strength that fills my entire being. It's indescribable. I use this power to annihilate the beast tribes and put an end to their insufferable rituals once and for all. Primals will rise no more. Hear me, demon king of devouring flame. Feed on my ever-burning anguish and be reborn. Culmination of my sacred duty is at hand. First, there's one more soul crystal that must be mine. I will tolerate its wasted potential no longer. That is one pissed off of Freed Eggy. Elias Eggy. Right. You're really not all that tough, Tristan. I'm dealing a lot of damage to you. Considering it level synced me, I'm still dealing tons of damage. Well, the memories of summoners past. I should have been unstoppable. I will sear the disease of beastmen from the face of the land. Deprived of worshippers, the primals that tempered my weak-willed sibling will wither into oblivion. So I see my order's records were accurate. It was buried deep in the archives. I but recently uncovered a report that described how you slew your own brother. He was corrupted during your ill-fated encounter with Ifrit, was he not? Imagine your superiors in the Immortal Flames thought it a mercy to conceal that inglorious detail. Once the soft-headed fool had been tempered, there was no saving him. I took it upon myself to expunge the stain of embarrassment. My work is left undone. All primals must suffer for that insult. After I killed my brother, I found myself liberated, my vision clear. No deed was too vile if it promised to add to the power I required. How can you not see? I am the sword of vengeance, and I shall wrest the soul crystal from your blasted corpse. Or not. Yep, roasted himself. I wonder which struck the first blow to his sanity. The despair at his brother's tempering, or the guilt from slaying his own kin. It's ironic to think that, discounting the means, our purposes were fundamentally one and the same. The summoner employs the savagery of the primals to conquer the primals themselves. If Tristan approached us as an ally, we might have found ourselves aiding his cause. Alas, he chose to walk the path of bloodshed. Each vicious act must have pushed the man deeper into madness, till, eventually, lust for power and vengeance was all that drove him. The mind of the primals carries with it a burden of responsibility, and a measure of danger. Hope never to see you corrupted by the potent energies you wield. It's time we return to Apkalu Falls. Dark Summoner is no more. Oh, how I would love to declare our troubles at an end, but I fear the Ascian with whom Tristan made his bargain is yet afoot. These so-called paragons prey upon men and women who are at their weakest, speaking honeyed words to lead them down the road of destruction. In this manner, they seek to plunge the realm of Eorzea into chaos. It is reassuring to know that heroes like you exist to foil their never-ending schemes and foul plots. Outright war against the Asians looms closer day by day. Thus would I have you armor yourself with the last piece of this evoker's attire. It was discovered at the same dig site where Tristan seized the soul crystal, and the St. Koinix fine researchers, grateful for your actions in bringing the murderous summoner to justice, insisted that you complete your set. One can never be over-prepared when heading into battle against a paragon. Wear it proudly. Speaking of preparations, were you aware of the deeper layer of power hidden within your avatars? Technique exists that allows you to tap into the full potential of your Eggy. You must have seen Tristan employing this ability. During the final battle with the Dark Summoner, you would have heard a whisper emanating from the Soul Crystal. Still your mind now, and you will hear the voices of the ancient summoners instructing you in their greatest achievement. The true power of the Eggy will be yours. That's it for the ARR quests. Now I can move into the Heavensward ones. There's my full glamour set. There's the actual artifact set, but I'm gonna get rid of that. Fitting tombstone. You visit me at my most opportune moment. I have tidings that you of all people should hear. After our last encounter, I presented our findings on the art of summoning to my fellow scholars. Suffice to say that the response has been enthusiastic. In addition to a flood of offers to assist with my research, I have also been promised a contribution of several rare Allegan tombstones. I imagine that any summoning knowledge hidden within those relics would prove of great benefit to us both. Shall we journey out to Mordona now and pay a visit to Rambros? Sure. In a moment. First, I'm gonna go drop off this set of gear. Someone playing bard music out here somewhere? Thought I heard it while I was here. They must have left. Let's see what we got. That evoker horn. I really don't care for the horns all that much, but eh. Let me just set it so I don't have to worry about all the garbage I can't actually use. Nah. I actually think I want to just use the actual Shire stuff. In this case... Oh yeah, what about... Nope. Definitely not this. I really don't like the whole, like, open coat, weird, like, ripped open almost. I just don't like the design of it. What about this, though? That'd work fine. But then there's a lot of other ones that'll work fine, too. Ooh, actually, that red goes pretty well with the inside of the Shire Gear's coat. But that one with the strap on it probably goes even better with it. Yeah. That, maybe. I guess the circlet can kind of work as my summoner horn until I get the hailstorm stuff. Since I'm here. They fail? Nope, they succeeded. Temporary warfare? Oh, cool, so I can change the classes around. That'll be good. Seal bonus. Let's see. I really need an Arcanist, but... change them to archers. I'm pretty sure the archer is supposed to be like the best DPS class. I think as a healer, offensive might actually be the best. Or balanced? Maybe. But right now, none of them's better than independent because it's so much higher level, it just gives better stat boosts all around. Combating a Makote, there's a chance for extra gil. Some of a different race, mental... Nah. Yeah, this one seems good, but it's so nightmarish to just get this one to actually proc and have the other stats where you need them to be that it's almost useless. I might just go for some extra gil, honestly. She doesn't even have offensive, that's annoying. I haven't even talked to her yet. She does, that's good. She's already an archer. Accompanying a hearer. There's a chance for contemporary warfare off. I don't need a bunch more books. I honestly don't need to change their classes much more, and I can have other ways to do it. So, chance to receive crafter scripts, on the other hand, but only when accompanying an arcanist? Now, that is annoying. Since I just changed my arcanist to an archer. This is effectively a useless one, too, honestly. Definitely want to change her to an archer. I don't think Dragoon is a very good class for the AI to be using as a DPS. Like, Arcanist might not be the worst, because they do have an AoE, I believe the Arcanist does. But Dragoon, I can't really think of anything the Dragoon gets that would be all that useful as an AI controlled, at least, DPS class. Yeah, sure, show me the flag mission. Oh, no, wait. We still got some of these we can do. That's interesting. Their stats just aren't that great. They just can't get up there, really. There's one. Priority Aetheryte, reducing Aetheryte teleportation fees. I don't care about too much. There's another. Oh, Mealder. I don't care about that. Increased spirit bonding speed. Not all that useful, but maybe. Survival manuals. Now that, on the other hand, could be useful. Okay. I'll let them run that. Just keep leveling people up. Then dump the summoner stuff, because I don't care. I don't really like the style of this armor anyway in general, and I don't care because it's already not as powerful as the stuff I already have equipped. The ARR artifact stuff is not going to be the best stuff I can get my hands on. Now, the Heavensward artifact stuff, I think I've done? Pretty sure. Yeah, I was maining Summoner in my trial account, so I must have seen it, but I can't really picture it all that well. Anywho. Back to St. Koinix. Hey Rambros, good to see you again. Are you going to acknowledge the Crystal Tower now? How do you fare, my friend? As ever, we here at St. Koinix Find remain firmly entrenched in our efforts to excavate the secrets of Allegan Empire. Members of Noah, yeah, so now he'll reference the Crystal Tower. Guess he didn't want to reference it in the last one just because the quests for that one were lower level than the Crystal Tower stuff. Whatever. Must be armed with knowledge if they are to truly pave the way to a future. I see you're here with the intrepid Eumitra. Might I assume you've come to collect your promised tomestones? I am most eager to sink my scholar's teeth into something new. Allow me to feed your fervor. We've uncovered a number of relics which, on cursory inspection, appear to contain detailed methodology for several summoner incantations. Who better than you to decipher their mysteries? Leviathan, Ramu, Shiva, with every new primal that appears, the importance of a thorough study of summoning magics becomes ever more apparent. Speaking of those particular deities, I'm given to understand that you had a hand in defeating every one of them. Your name features quite prominently in the reports we received from the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. That's interesting. The Sons of St. Koinek actually get reports from the Scions? Well, they wouldn't now, since we're kind of all gone. As you were present at each of their downfalls, it then follows that your aura was infused with the essences of those primals. Could it be possible that you now have the potential to call forth new Eggy? By the 12, of course! The most trying of the requisite conditions has already been met. All that remains is to perform the summoning rituals at locations charged with the appropriate elemental energies, except that 3 expansions later and there isn't any Ramu, Leviathan, or Shiva Eggies. Mr. Ambrose, can you suggest any places in which the etheric balance tips heavily towards either water, lightning, or ice? Singing shards should adequately serve your needs for lightning. The area is alive with a constant discharge of crackling energy. Singing shards it is, then. Let's perform the austerities of lightning and attempt to bring Ramuegi into this world. Can't remember exactly why they end up deciding, like, oh yeah, no, you can't do this anymore. You can't bring any more Eggies around. Or whatever. Can't remember if it decided there was like a legitimate reason that you couldn't have any more Eggies. Or at least none of the other normal ones. Let's begin the austerities of lightning. Concentrate on shifting your etheric energies towards the desired element. Sense nothing. I don't understand. All the conditions have been fulfilled. Summoning ritual has never failed us before. Whatever could we be missing? Oh, there's little point in us remaining here if Ramuegi will not answer your call. Shall we return to Gridania? Just playing. Whatever. You say something really quick. Yeah. Wow, that's very extravagant. Like a princess tiara and a big flowing dress. Fairy tale princess. Yep, very much so. And she's a monk? That's a heck of a monk glam. How do you even fight in that? I scoured my research notes for a hint as to why the summoning failed. There were no revelations to be found. Forced to conclude that the cause must lie outside our current understanding of the art. Thus shall I begin studying the tomestones we received from Rambros, and hope they contain some heretofore unknown wisdom. Mayhap these new Eggi require a different manner of catalyst? While I delve into this mystery, I suggest you continue practicing your art. We enter an uncharted realm of summoning, and you must be prepared, body and spirit. I guess the Peace Lover set actually works pretty well for for most mages in general, but still. Energy siphon. Oh yeah. It'd be nice to have. Since we last met, the arduous task of deciphering those tomestones has occupied my every waking moment. Made significant progress, but the cause of the ritual's failure yet eludes me. Somewhat heartened, however, by my discovery of a number of new incantations. In fact, there is one spell which I believe you could soon master with a minimum of Forgive my interruption. You're the leaders of the research effort on summoning magics, yes? I'm Captain Dancing Wolf of the Immortal Flames. It is fortunate that I find you together, as I have questions for you both. What would the Immortal Flames want with us, Captain Wolf? Does Uldal's military have some vested interest in the activities of summoners? Just one summoner in particular, madam. We seek a man by the name of Tristan. Then you do know him. I've heard reports that you had been in pursuit of our former soldier, but I always like to have confirmation on our intelligence. The Immortal Flames has its own reasons for wanting Tristan found. If you have any idea of his whereabouts, then I must know what you know. As far as we know, officer, he's dead. But, granted, we didn't actually see his corpse, but he erupted in fire and was pretty much disintegrated. So Tristan matched his summoning magics against yours and was ultimately consumed in fire. You're certain he perished. Have we given you reason to suspect otherwise? I do not doubt the veracity of your tale, but there has been an incident. A merchant caravan was recently attacked by a man who, by the description given, closely resembles Tristan in appearance. Should we allow the crime of a former immortal flame to go unanswered, the integrity of the entire organization will be called into question. I will find him and see that justice is served. He looked on as Tristan was engulfed in flames, not even a charred corpse, and we believed him utterly consumed. Could he have somehow survived that inferno? If he is alive, then we have unwittingly permitted the escape of a known pawn of the Paragons. Captain Wolf, you must allow us to accompany you on your investigation. If it turns out that this actually is Tristan, you'll probably want to have a summoner on your team to fight him. Your combined expertise of the summoning arts is most welcome, Lady Amitra. The attack occurred on one of the roads out of Camp Drybone. Join me at the settlement proper, and we can continue the search for witnesses. And that is a teeny tiny little shield on the back of that giant man. Wow, you don't look so good, buddy. Moving him before the buzzards catches. Jesus. And people in Camp Drybone just don't care. As we are now cooperating on this investigation, I see no reason not to trust you with some of its duties. Let's split up and find out what these merchants know. Okay, so it's areas. Oh, alright. Hey, Lamberton. Another dead person? It's like everybody in this city just dying? Nice name. Ermengarde. A friend of mine survived the assault. Said he even caught a glimpse of the villain's twisted face. Certain he would tell you more had he not left camp the moment his injuries were bound. And now that you mention it, they did just cart in the body of a merchant. Those things are hardly noteworthy around here, though. As such, I failed to take notes. She have... No, I thought she had like little wings on the back of her costume. But no, it looks like it's pieces of a scarf or whatever that are like draped down. Hey, Adelstan. The attack out on the road? I hear the man who did it was swathed in a robe that was black as midnight. One of Ifrit's tempered, I should think. So we have one merchant left alive to tell the tale. According to my inquiries, our intrepid trader will likely be en route to High Bridge. We may yet catch him on the road if we are swift. Luckily, unlike you guys, I can just jump up and fly over the cliff. I heard a Moldra war cries. Are you unhurt, sir? Yes, thank you. Well, aside from the injuries I sustained from a previous incident, I suppose. First the caravan, and now this. Must Thal be so eager to usher me into his hall? It is concerning the assault on your caravan that we endeavored to... It is concerning the assault on your caravan that we endeavored to seek you out, sir. Is there aught you could tell us of the attacker? Aye. I should be glad to see him brought to justice, but I did not see his face in any great detail, concealed as it was in the depths of a black cowl. I did glimpse a lock of silvery hair. By his stature I marked him of Huron stock, and by his fiery servant a hell-spawned demon in disguise. A fiery servant? Balls! That's the one! Where do you people find those things? The villain was in command of an Ifrit then. We know the affinity Tristan has for primal flame. All the evidence points towards our man. Thank you for your cooperation, sir. You've been of great help to our investigation. I'll think nothing of it. Consider it poor recompense for my rescue at the hands of this gallant adventurer. Should we not possibly ask that merchant what he's trading? Like, what's in his caravan? Must report these developments to my superiors at the Hall of Flames. Pray join me in Old Daw. There is more I would discuss with you. Glad to see someone's carrying on with the dancing. Unfortunately, the old man in the crown isn't here tonight. Guess he must have gotten booted with the patches and all that stuff. You know of Tristan's older brother, Cahaden. Both were soldiers in service to the Immortal Flames. Both were soldiers under my command. Our unit was one of many deployed in the mission to destroy the Primal Efreet. An operation that succeeded at a staggering cost. Those who were not incinerated were tempered, with Cahaden suffering the latter. As you well know, Primal's power is fueled by the faith of its thralls. The greatest mercy we can grant such unfortunates is a swift journey to Thal's hallowed halls. Tristan volunteered to end the cursed existence of his own brother. He returned to Old Daw with Cahaden's blood on his blade, and I watched helpless as the guilt slowly strangled the life in his eyes. No words of comfort could reach him, and when he at last quit the flames, he was a husk of the man he once was. Never did I imagine his grief-maddened mind would drive him to such desperate evils. Tristan was my soldier, and it is my responsibility to stop him. Thanks to your aid, we have mounting proof that he is still out there. When we're ready, we shall make our move. We are content to follow in your lead in this, Captain Wolf. We should certainly be fully prepared if we are to meet the Dark Summoner in battle. To that end, I would teach you one of the incantations I gleaned from those repositories of Allegan wisdom. It is a spell of damaging magic employed in combat by the Summoners of Eld. Let us call upon Captain Wolf again once you have mastered its use. It would not do to engage Tristan while stumbling over unfamiliar magics. Lost wisdom of ancient Alec, huh? This goes there. There we go. It's gonna mess up my bar once I have... I should already have... So I have Rune 2. Which is no longer instant. So which one is instant? Is it none of the ruins are instant anymore? Rune 4 is. Yeah, you no longer really get an instant cast ruin to move around, which isn't a big deal as a summoner because you get enough off of Titan and Garuda, their gem shines or brilliance, to be able to move around while you're fighting. You can still be really mobile. That's interesting. I don't think you even have 2 ruins on your bar anymore. I don't know that Rune 4 is a different one. I think it might turn Rune 3 into Rune 4 during certain parts of your rotation. Or maybe Rune 4 is different. Target and all enemies nearby, but only under the effect of further ruin. Increase the potency of Rune 3. Yeah, I don't know which one causes further ruin. So I think it's just part of your rotation is using something that'll cause further ruin, which will basically upgrade it. Or maybe not. Strike, Mound Buster. That's a lot of stuff. Slipstream at 86, but where's 90? Huh. Radiant Aegis for the barrier. Increased damage dealt by yourself and nearby party. Okay, so a just flat out buff that you get later on. Alright. None of that really matters right now, though. Ah, cool. Ruin Mastery to Ruin 3. That'll be good to have. Auspicious timing. There's been news, and none of it good. Our soldiers in Central Thonolin have reported another attack. I looked over the notes of the initial investigation. It would seem Tristan, or someone who looks very much like him, has struck again. I'll have one of my men contact Dimitra with the details, but I suggest we head out to the Nanawa mines immediately, question one of the surviving victims. I don't think we need to... doesn't matter. It's just a little bit of gil. It's fine. No, not that. This. Wait, is there... I think it's just someone I can play triple triad with. Yeah, there's no new materia quests. Just some leftover triple triad cards I don't have yet. What do you mean more questions? I spilled me tale to 3 different soldiers already. Work gets further and further behind every time I gotta stop and talk to you folk. Here's an idea, though. How about you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? That big lad in the uniform there looks like he could lift some good-sized rocks. What about you, lad? You some sort of mage? We had some trouble with the local Spriggans swiping our fire silver, and you're just the bloke to get it back. Stuff's as rare as chocobo teeth, you know. Just a moment, sir. We don't have time for these distractions. Then maybe I don't got time to talk to you. Not until there's a little give with your take. Fury means to be stubborn about this. Please humor the man and retrieve his precious ore from the Spriggans. How about we just beat the crap out of him until he answers questions about people getting killed? How about that? Oh, these Spriggans are actually decently tough. I don't think I need to summon anymore. Just another ruin will be enough to blast him. Wow, Dancing Wolf doesn't look like he took it very well. Carrying rocks around. You find them Spriggans, lad. What about me Fire Silver? Here's your Fire Silver. Choke on it. Oh, you got the whole lot back. Much appreciated. My apologies. My studies took rather longer than I... Captain Wolf? Is everything alright? Everything's fine. Now, let's hear your story, sir. I reckon you've earned it. We was in the mine, loading the carts with our haul for the day. This bloke in robes appears. Doesn't say a word, bastard just snaps his fingers and sets his pet demon to lighten me mates on fire. Ifrit Agi, if you would be so kind. Bloody hells. Aye, that's the fiend I saw. It's as we feared then. This robe-clad man, do you have any idea why he attacked you? Well, lass, there's more than silver to be had from Nanawa. On a good day, we dig up our fair share of crystals as well. That seems to be what he was after. I'm ashamed to say that I fled for my life once folks started going up in flames. When I went back to sort out the mess, the cart that would have had the crystals in it was empty. Took them all? Aye, every single one, and that's all I've got to say about that. You catch the bastard. Crystals. There's a case of crystals on the list of goods stolen from that caravan. Must have taken everything else to conceal his intent. Our quarry grows careless, or simply impatient. It's time I re-examine certain other incidents that we did not think related to this case. Meet me at the Hall of Flames, we shall discuss the matter further. I can imagine only one reason why a man such as Tristan would seek to acquire a wealth of crystals. Let us not keep Captain Wolf waiting. Oh, there he is. He managed to make it back into the game. Inspected our incident records, paying close attention to cargo manifests that include crystals. We'd attributed several recent raids to the Amalja, but the victims were, every one of them, burned to death. Not entirely impossible, considering the lizardmen's affinity for fire. But to find not a single arrow or spear wound? It is highly unlikely. Mayhap I should state aloud what we are all thinking. Judging by the sheer number of crystals involved, we must assume that this villain intends to call forth a primal. After my encounter with Ifrit, I learned just how devastatingly powerful these entities can be. I believe that summoners with their ability to harness such power hold the potential to achieve great things. But if Tristan truly is mad enough to summon a primal, then that unthinkable act, and the bloody deeds he's performed in preparation for it, will cause people to question the motives of all who practice the summoner's art. My studies of the tombstones revealed to me a tale of adulation. The summoners of Aulig were revered as heroes for their part in defeating the ancient primals. But reverence slowly turned to revulsion as practitioners, intoxicated by their own immense power, began wielding the art of summoning as a means to further their own selfish ambitions. It's not to say, of course, that all summoners chose to become tyrants. Amongst the common people, however, it became a strongly held superstition that those who meddled in the powers of primals ultimately fell into the embrace of evil. This superstition blossomed into outright terror, and that is when the mage hunts began. By the end of the Third Astral Era, the last of the summoners had vanished from the stage of history. Should we allow Tristan to go through with his plans, then we risk a repeat of that tragedy. I'll review the state of patrols on the crystal trade routes. We will catch him. Before I joined you at the Nanawa Mines, I was able to recover another incantation that may prove useful in the coming days. Wield its power wisely. Lost Wisdom of Ancient Alleg. So now I have Rune 3, that's good. I hope you are prepared to take action. Ever since we increased our presence on the trade routes, our black-robed villain has ceased his attacks. Now it's our turn to go on the offensive. With the blessings of my superiors, I have arranged for a lightly guarded shipment of crystals with which we will lure Tristan into an ambush. I want you there when we spring the trap. I've already sent word to Ymitra, and she will meet us in Camp Blue Frog. Let's bring an end to this. I think that'll work. Maybe on the bottom would be better, though. Oh no. There. That'll work. Okay. Oh yeah, I never did unlock the leaves here either. Oh well. Doesn't matter. I don't have any reason to do so. I don't need any of them for anything just yet. You're here. Good. Our crystal couriers have just left camp. Plan is simple. Caravan will head towards the process plant, but conveniently break an axle before reaching the East Watchtower. We three will take up separate positions nearby and wait for Tristan to take the bait. Had the driver complaining long and loudly about the lack of a suitable escort for his precious cargo, so he can be reasonably sure that an attack will come. Dude, that sounds stupid. I mean, if I'm a thief, and you increase your patrols around any crystal cargo, and I want crystals, and suddenly there's some patrol out in the middle of nowhere where the merchant or whatever, the courier, is constantly complaining about, why don't we have any protection? Why don't we have an escort? Blah, 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 blah. And they just happen to break an axle out in the middle of nowhere. Every single part of my brain is screaming at me that that's got to be a setup. Nothing is that easy. Trust you need no further explanations. Head to your assigned position and do your best to keep out of sight. It burns! It burns! Wow, that was fast. Oh wow. So the enemy like AI summoners that you run into still cast dots on you. They haven't had their like summoner kit upgraded to the 6.0. They still cast a bunch of dots at you. Talk to me, soldier. I'll live, Captain. He popped right out of thin air. Took me by surprise. Same happened to me. Another man in dark robes stepped through some manner of portal and assailed me with spells. My position also came under attack. An underling, judging by the ease with which I dispatched him. But I've never before seen such teleportation magics. No, it can't be. You know this man, Captain Wolf. This is Cahaden, Tristan's brother. But how? He was tempered, slain. And now both siblings have disappointed me. Should exercise more care in choosing my pawns. Nascient, that voice, you were the one who taught Tristan the art of summoning. Have you come to inflict yet more misery upon the world? Tristan, yes, that was the other's name. I had hoped to groom him, granted him the knowledge of Alec's mages that he might unleash his wrath against the primals. Alas, he was all too easily vanquished. No matter. The Bringer of Light has proven a more than adequate replacement for my failed Godslayer. With every primal you kill, the beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. We need but supply the tribes with crystals and watch as they summon ever more terrible deities. When the confluence of chaos reaches its peak, the world shall be swallowed in darkness. Our master shall rise again. We should be gone as well. I shall see that my soldier is treated for his wounds, then await you outside the Hall of Flames. I believe some reassessment is in order. We now know that the black-robed menace we thought to be Tristan was actually his brother Cahaden, a reanimated puppet under the control of an Ascian. Both brothers were present at Ifrit's defeat, so Cahaden's aura too would have been stained with the Primal's essence, which, if I understand correctly, would explain his ability to command the Eggy. But for that Ascian to raise the lad's corpse and press him into service as his pet summoner, I shall see the Blackguard suffer for his cruel depravity. The Paragon has many crimes for which he must answer, but we must move with great caution. The power of these immortals is not to be underestimated. I will return to Gridania and redouble my efforts to decipher the remaining tomestones. We cannot face an Ascian unprepared. I could have tranced all night. That's interesting. Ether charge. Oh, Dreadworm trance now. So Ether charge becomes Dreadworm trance. Okay then. So that's why people are saying that, like, the summoner rotation is basically Bahamut into the 3, into Phoenix, into the 3. Because Ether Charge turns into Dreadworm Trance, and you need to Ether Charge to unlock the 3. So you Bahamut first. I mean, not right now, because I don't have Bahamut yet. I'm just getting Dreadworm Trance. But you would Bahamut first, and then when that runs out, you would go into the 3, summoning the 3. Alright. You've come for word on the Ascian. I fear I have little progress to report. We did, however, hold a service for Cahaden, assembled the soldiers from his old unit, and together we conveyed his remains to the priests of Thal. As for Thonalin's trade routes, there's still the odd raid by bandits or beastmen, but not that involves men in black robes. I must confess, I am at a loss as to how we might track our foe. Have you spoken with Ymitra? I believe she had new findings to share with you. Oh, they're still playing. There you are. We have much to discuss. I've been engrossed in my studies, you see, seeking every advantage for our inevitable clash with the Ascian. And as I struggled to unravel the ancient knowledge of the tomestones, I unlocked a good many mysteries, including the reason why you were unable to call forth Ramuegi. When you summon an avatar, you draw upon your body's reservoir of ether to grant life and form to what is known as an arcane entity. That much we already knew. I had, however, overlooked the simple fact that our etheric reserves are finite. Thus, the magnitude of Eggy that you are able to summon is limited by the extent of your own life force. Simply put, if the Eggy is too powerful, then the summoning fails. Do not despair. The summoners of Aleg devised a method by which one might circumvent this intrinsic limitation. Rather than attempt to summon a separate physical manifestation of certain Agi, the most accomplished mages discovered that far less ether was required to infuse themselves with the essence of a primal's power. Technique by which a summoner would achieve this heightened state was known as a trance. What say you? Shall we see if you can master this method? It may even allow you to contend with a paragon, but not if the essence is of an ordinary primal. Nay, we must set our sights on the most potent entity, the most fierce. I speak of the elder primal, Bahamut. On the day of the calamity, the dragon vanished in an explosion so massive that his ether was carried to the far corners of Eorzea. You, among many others, have already been touched by his essence. All that remains is to perform the meditative ritual in a place steeped in Bahamut's energies, and you should be able to enter the trance of the Dreadworm. As for setting foot within the only suitable location, I believe Captain Wolf can assist us. Shall we pay him a visit? That was a little much. Start at Wolf, teleport to Gridania, run to her, go back to Ul'dah, go back to Wolf. Oh well. Dimitri here is certainly not one to do things by half. She petitioned me to help gain entry to the ether-soaked wasteland of Cartno Flats. Flats are disputed territory, jointly administered by the 3 member nations of the Eorzean Alliance. Attempting to earn full admittance to the area is a bureaucratic nightmare. As matters stand, I was only able to secure permission to visit the Immortal Flames airship landing. If we wish to enter the flats proper, we will have to do so under the cover of night. Prepare yourself for a tense journey. Then make your way to the landing here in Ul'dah. I have one of our elite flyers standing by. Airship. That's Chamber of Rule, I believe, is right next to the elevator. I'll fly you to the front door of the flats, but that's as far as you're authorized to go. Stay on the landing or face the consequences. Yeah, that's not happening, buddy. Oh look, it's the terrible PvP area. So this is what became of the Cartno Flats. But before have I sensed such tainted ether. Let us not linger long. Turn your mind now to Bahamut's terrible majesty. Allow his power to seep into your very being. Nothing. We may need to deepen your meditations. Do you truly attempt to harness the might of Bahamut? The essence of the Elder Primal shall tear your mortal frame asunder. Chaos rises in the presence of power, but you, bringer of light, can be allowed to shine no brighter. Come and be doused in the endless waters of the 12th chalice. Let's meditate, jackass. There's the Eggy. That's what I need to do, is take out the Eggies. There we go. Lingering Ether. Bahamut's Flames. Next. There it is. The next Eggy. Oops, forgot to charge myself. There's the Lingering Ether. With his wings. Persistent bringer of light, I will bury you in stone. And then here comes Titan. There we go. You guys mind keeping him distracted for about 5 seconds? On his claws. I think there's more. I don't think it's just the 3. I understand the waters of the 12th chalice are endless. And then there's all 3 of them. There's the 3 of them. On his scales. Here's 5, and 1 more. Is he gonna try and hit me again? Nope, I'm good. For a second. There we go. His roar. Dreadworm trance. There we go. Just had to kill off all of his eggies over and over and over again while learning the Dreadworm trance. I did not anticipate this. You should not have been able to complete the meditations under such duress. Dude, getting stronger by fighting against insane odds is basically the bread and butter of how my character exists. So, you know. I shall not underestimate you again. Our next meeting shall be our last, Bringer of Light. Did it? We faced a paragon and lived. It is all thanks to you. You and the towering might of Bahamut that you now command. Despite the Asians' interference, we achieved what we came here for. I'm afraid this is not the place to celebrate. Let's return to the landing before the dawn's light finds us in forbidden territory. Good boy. Not supposed to be standing in the center of the PvP arena. It's illegal. Guess that's one way to spend your days in FF14. We have reason to rejoice, my friends. It would seem our clandestine adventure went unnoticed by my superiors. And more importantly, we seized the upper hand in a battle against an Asian. Trance did appear most effective against our immortal foe. For such a hurried night's work, we managed to reap quite a harvest indeed. Aye, but 'tis a pity the bastard fled when he did. I would have liked to have settled the score then and there. It's for the best, Captain. If we would truly defeat an Asian, then we must be prepared to destroy him utterly, body and soul. Nice. Now I have Dreadworm Trance. And it seems like that's an upgrade as well, so I don't even need to get a new skill on my bar. Lost Wisdom of Ancient Alleg. Yep. It's a straight up upgrade. Trance Gauge expanded. Basically all it did was turn my carbuncle into a Bahamut. Trance Gauge will indicate the remaining time for the effects of Dread. Well, that's the same amount of time. It doesn't matter. This effects Ruin 3 is upgraded to Astral Impulse and Outburst. Okay, so my basic attacks get upgraded. Astral Flare. It also grants Ruby, Topaz, and Emerald. Yep. Yep, exactly the same, except it turned into a dragon. That's basically all it did, was it changed shape into a dragon instead of carbuncle, and it changes my Ruin and my Outburst into a stronger attack. But 15 seconds, I think, is the exact same amount of time that the Ether charge. Yeah, it was 15 seconds. It didn't change anything, really. Okay. Flare for the dramatic. We get Astral Flow, the energies of your active trance to perform one of several actions. Oh, Astral Flow is the Redworm Trance action changes to Death Flare. No. Astral Flow isn't one that changes based on which of the Arcanum you're using. It looks like it only works with Bahamut and probably Phoenix later. Yeah, your active trance. Okay. And then the Caller's attire. So this will be the last quest for tonight. I was about to send for you. Ymitra should be here any moment. Speaking of... Oh, wonderful. We're all here. I have been pondering some metaphysical theories and would discuss my conclusions with the both of you. Ever since our battle on the flats, the memory of our adversary fleeing the field has been preying upon my mind. According to the Scions and their research, the Paragons are effectively immortal. They are said to be ethereal entities with no physical form of their own, instead possessing mortal host after mortal host in an endless procession down the ages. Once Ashran had acquired the Dreadworm Trance, the haste with which the Ascian withdrew did not seem to me the action of a being who harbors no fear of death. Thus do I pose the question, could it be that the 12th Chalice and his black-masked brethren are not as practiced in the art of possession as their red-veiled masters? At the time of the battle, our bodies were the only available hosts nearby. Assuming that he also lacks his superior's facility to flee to the space betwixt worlds, I suspect that our foe's sudden cowardice stemmed from an inability to force his soul into our living vessels. So maybe the 12th Chalice can only possess the dead? That would explain much, including the reason why he chose the deceased Cahaden to serve as a puppet. I believe the theory is sound. Shall we put it to the test? If we are able to lure the 12th Chalice to a location devoid of potential hosts, we might succeed in destroying him for good. Then what are we waiting for? We must begin devising a plan to draw the villain from hiding. Not so fast, Captain Wolf. We must first obtain the means by which we can ensure the Ascian's demise. A mighty coup de grace delivered before he has the chance to retreat. There is a passage within the last tombstone that describes how the power of a trance can be unleashed in a single devastating blast. The technique itself, however, was not explained. According to my research, it can only be learned from a forbidden book found on the shelves of the Great Gubal Library. To reach the library will require a long and perilous journey over Abalathia's spine, or I could just teleport there and fly, and into the wilds of the Dravanian hinterlands. But I believe we three are up to the task. Shall we be on our way then? The key to defeating the 12th Chalice will soon be within our grasp. Hey, going to Idleshire anyway. I don't think I have enough for anything. I didn't really pick up any new poetics. Yeah. I don't really have enough for anything. Oh well. Okay. Can't fly in here even if you have unlocked all the ether currents. Overgrown ambition. I think that's the Arboretum quest. That's interesting. I'll come back for that when I'm doing the side questing. Probably the next time I stream, I might do a bunch of the side quests and stuff that are sort of backing up. Eventually, I do still need to do the quest that Matoya's like magic brooms have, the weird like puzzle-y quest that doesn't really give you explicit instructions on how to do it. And I still want to start the hey Alexander. That too eventually. I still have the Scholasticate quest, and I think I still have some quests from like post Heaven's Word that might be available now. Should be a little careful. A lot of these guys around me can actually aggro on me. Here we go. Now that we are all arrived, we can enter the library and begin our search for this forbidden tome. You have strayed far from the safety of your cities, foolish mortals. Whatever could you be planning? Again, always he arrives at the worst possible moment. 'Tis no coincidence, I fear, and this time he leaves naught to chance. It was amusing at first to watch you stumble like clumsy children, but too insistent is your dabbling. Those who will not dance upon our palm shall be crushed within our fist. No more shall we endure your blinding effulgence. There can be no rival to the encroaching darkness. You have earned the ire of La Habrea's most loyal servants. Did you imagine the battle ended with our master's defeat? Stand now, bringer of light, and suffer the pain of our retribution. Would it not be wiser to retreat and seek the tome another day? They mean to afford us no such opportunity, my dear captain. Either we stand and fight or we die. Then let's do it. It's kind of annoying that they're standing so just far enough apart that they're just kind of out of range of each other for my AoE stuff. Oh well. Really? Fine, I'll trance then. I don't even know what this is. These AoEs that are appearing here. Yeah, I already know how that one works, dude. I've seen that plenty in other fights. It seems like it's giving me Vuln stack stepping in it, or maybe that's something else that's causing that. I honestly don't know. But then why is he sending them off to random corners all over the place that aren't important? Let's see. Yeah, no, that's not giving me the Vuln stacks. It's something else, I think. There you go, idiot. Man, he did have a lot of health and resistances, though, compared to the other 12th circles. Oh, we were raised unto greatness by La Habrea himself. Dude, I've already killed La Habrea. Like, twice. 2? 3? 2, I think. Twice. You defeated my master, bringer of light. Mayhap it is meet that your strength was beyond us, but the day will come. You'll not escape us this time, Ascian. Now, unleash your power! Hey, Bahamut. Man, Trance looks so cool in the cutscenes. It is done. The Paragon is no more. Most impressive spell. When did you learn how to cast it? Did we not first require the library's tome? Uh-huh. She basically just lied to all of us. My apologies, Captive, but in order to deceive one's enemies, it is best to begin with one's friends. There was never any such book. All that he required was the catalyst of battle to focus his energies. I knew that once the Ascian observed us traveling towards the library, he would assume we sought some long-buried wisdom. We could not risk leaving him free to gain even more power. And so this entire journey was a fate. A trap to lure him into the wilds. Well, you certainly had me fooled. Remind me never to cross wits with you. Jeez. Together we've achieved something of which few people can boast. The defeat of an Ascian. Was only one of the 12th circle, though. I don't think the Dreadworm trance is enough to take out one of the red-masked ones. Never could I have accomplished this deed alone. Thanks to your actions, Tristan's case can also be put to rest. Long have I been haunted by the horrors of that Ifrit mission. But at last I feel a measure of peace. I'll return to Old Daw and have a gravestone for Tristan laid beside his brothers. We may not have his bones, but it will be a place where the survivors from his unit can pay respects to the man he once was. Farewell, my friends. May we meet again under happier circumstances. Probably not, because the next time we meet will probably be under the next Summoner questline. I too would extend to you my gratitude. In addition to untold slaughter, you have prevented summoning's tragic history from repeating itself in a new age. We must take greater precautions against this ancient art falling into the wrong hands. I will work alongside my colleagues in the Suns and be sure that the spread of summoning is closely monitored. If only we could uncover a lasting solution to the primal predicament. There must be a way to break this self-perpetuating cycle of meeting force with force. As for myself, I shall continue my research into primals and summoning, and offer the Scions whatever support I am able. I am certain our paths shall cross again. And there we go. Now I believe I can actually execute that, blast of fire from my mouth that I just did in the cutscene. I think that's what Astral Flow does. And that's it for Heavensward. Next Summoner quest won't be until Stormblood. I believe that one will have a title associated with it. Yep, Dread Spawn. Not bad. Let's see. That could go there. Energies your active trance to perform one of several actions. Action changes to Death Flare. Yeah, that's what it should have been, Death Flare. I need to get used to the timing on this, though. Because just like Summoner used to be, the best way to do this is to trance, use up as many Ruin 3s, or what are they called? Astral Impulses or Astral Flares as you can in the time you have to trance, and then just before your trance wears off on its own, you use the Astral Flow. Right? So I need to get used to the time, to just sort of by feel, how long 15 seconds is, and sort of keeping my eyes on this a little more and knowing how many attacks I can get off in that time, that sort of thing. So that I can make sure I'm using Astral Flow at the right time and not just losing trances or using it too early. Anyway, next is... oh yeah, these things there. And these... I don't know, I'd probably just sell that, but whatever. Okay. So the Caller's Horn, an even bigger giant penis horn on your head. Yeah, it looks terrible. Looks utterly horrible. I really don't like it. The only piece I have that's better is the Augmented Shire piece, so I can at least get rid of this. Ugh, I'll have to glamour over the other pieces. They really don't look good. And I'm not a big fan of the horn either. Oh well. I didn't have anything to get rid of the side parts with. Maybe. Let's do that, I guess, for now. That actually looks pretty good. Cool. Alright. That wasn't quite 3 hours, but I don't have enough time to really do much else before it's time to end for the night. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Next time I stream, probably not tomorrow, so probably Thursday. And I will... Let's see what I still need to do. Still got Paladin. Monk will be done and ready to go up soon, but Thursday I think I'll be doing side quests. I think on Thursday I'll be picking up a bunch of the like blue quests that have opened up now that I've finished the 3.0 stuff for Heaven's Word. And so I'll be unlocking a lot of stuff in Idleshire, probably some new dungeons, new trials, harder versions of dungeons and trials, that sort of stuff. That's what I think I'm going to be doing on Thursday. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.